What we have here is my Macintosh Powerbook 180. I haven't actually made a video of this computer in a while. So this is one of the very first vintage Macintoshes that I got. I got this along with a 520C that I still have, but that needs a hard drive. Because I took the hard drive from that and put it in here. Because the hard drive that was in here, which is over here, right there, that 80 meg drive failed. It has suffered from stiction, and I can't get the heads unstuck. So I'm on the lookout for a new drive, and I have been for a very, very, very long time. But for now, I figure that because this one has the active matrix display, and that's what it has. I believe it's like a 9 or a 10 inch grayscale active matrix display, so it's not like the most powerful thing in the world. It is definitely old. I mean, it's grayscale. The 180C was the model that came with the color display. You can see it says quite clearly on it, Powerbook 180. There's the speaker. It is monophonic. Underneath it, it's a microphone. This is odd. Especially for an active matrix display, you have a separate contrast and brightness. This is the old Apple layout for the keyboard. I don't know if this is a mechanical or a rubber dome switch. I believe this is a rubber dome switch keyboard. We have a trackball. And we have two mouse buttons, which both do the same thing. So there's that. It does not have a battery in it. The battery is floating around somewhere here. There it is. But that battery is shorted and needs to be rebuilt or discarded. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Probably going to rebuild it, because I would love to have a working battery for this thing. That would be nice. But on this side, we have nothing. And on this side, oops, we have a floppy drive with the emergency eject porthole right there. It is a software eject floppy drive, but you can emergency eject a floppy by hitting that. Of course, in doing so, you might damage your floppy. You can see the nice rib back design. These hinges always fail. There are always stress fractures that develop in and around here. And in and around here. I don't see any of that on either of these two hinges with this computer. Which is amazing, considering this was used in an educational environment. And therefore was used heavily. I did not get the original power supply. I got this. And when I got it, they had nasty black electrical tape all over it. But I fixed that. Let's see if I can find it. Crap. It should be around here somewhere. Yes, there it is. Don't know if you can see that. But, there you go. I heat shrink that. So that's all fine and dandy. Now that has to be thrown back in there. But this cord still wiggles around quite a bit because it is not the right size. I'm going to have to find one. I'm going to get one off of eBay. If I even get one at all. It is missing the port door, like so many of these are, simply because the power button is behind the port door. There's the power button right there. Next to the reset, the programmer, the, what are these? That is the telephone modem, fax serial, Apple serial, there we go. That's the right word for it. Your audio inputs and outputs, the Apple display port that they use on their PowerBooks and a lot of other machines. You need an adapter to go to the Apple DB15 monitor connection. I think it's DB15. Yes, Apple DB15 monitor. And an ADB port. And I actually have an ADB mouse. It's sitting right here. I got this along with the system, which came in a carrying bag, which I have the 520C in right now. That mouse does not work. I did not get the little circular thing that goes around it, first of all. And second of all, it's broken. the, take a look here. This is off of the tracks. Or is it this one? No, that one's okay. These are okay, it's this one. That is way too much play. So it's a broken mouse. I'm gonna have to get one. I know where I can get one. Okay, and HDI 30 SCSI, which they use in all their PowerBooks. This is a SCSI system through and through, so it needs a SCSI hard drive, which is why I haven't got one for the other system yet. We have a blank. Right there would be a telephone modem if it was installed, but it's optional. We have a Kensington lock, and we also have 2 feet. And these feet flip down. This is actually one of the best feet designs I've ever seen. They're rugged, they don't break, and they're pretty solid. But they actually give the machine a rise like an ordinary keyboard. So that's how that works. The system is driven by a 33 MHz Motorola 68030 processor. It has 14 megs of RAM. There's 4 megs on board and a 10 megabyte add-on module. It actually has a 240 megabyte IBM SCSI hard drive, and it's running a System 755. I think I've bored you long enough. Let's power it up. Hopefully my hard drive is still working. It was working earlier. You have Kinetics RAM doubler installed, which is going to do nothing because I don't have Mode 32 installed. And this PowerBook is based on a 32-bit dirty ROM, which does not allow for RAM doubler to work. I wish I knew what the difference between dirty and clean ROM was, but offhand I don't. I should know that, but, well, like I said, I don't. Now, this is actually the same build of System 7 that was on the 520C, which was able to use 36 megabytes of RAM. This one only has 14 available at its disposal, but it's still running all of these extensions. I'm going to have to do something about that. If I'm planning on keeping this drive in here full time, which I'm not, I'm hoping that I can get one at some point. See, it's definitely black and white. Maybe you can hear that loud hard drive. And the thing that I like about Macintosh systems is that you can use them both left-handed and right-handed without even having to change anything. Which is easy. Since I can use the mouse both ways, I've just grew up that way. So there's that. Look at all those freaking extensions, man. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Because that thing really, saps the battery. Or the RAM installed in the system. It reports that the battery is charging, but it is actually not charging at all. Is that the right time? No, it is off. I don't think that's the right time at all. Let's make sure. Yep, it's gone back to 1904. So right now I'm not going to fix that because I'm lazy. Let's take a look. Launcher comes up. A lot of these programs will not run because they require color Macintosh, and that's not what this is. So we have a PowerBook. This is the universal install, which is why it doesn't say 180 and why it didn't say 520C before. System 755. You can see that we have about 4 megs of RAM available because it's being sapped by the system extensions. I am an idiot. for loading that many extensions on this system. I'm going to leave it as is, though, simply because I'm probably going to get a new hard drive for this, and I'm going to get a good, decent power supply for it, and I'm going to install the macOS on it. So, what else did I want to show you? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the millions of games that were installed on here when I got it. On this particular installation. Look at all of this crap. Look at all this. There are many, many, many games here. I'm not going to play them because I don't want to make this a really long video. And I've already talked this thing to death. There's not much really on here that I can talk about, because most of it requires color Macintosh. So that's taking up 84.1 megabytes for 504 different individual items on that drive, folders and all. That is a lot of stuff, I will tell you that. Not all of it's games, but most of it is. There is a copy of Netscape on here. I wonder if that'll run. It'd be cool if it ran. Out of memory. Nice. Okay, so that can't run. What about KidPix? I think this required color. Yes, this requires a 13-inch color monitor with 256 colors. So that's not going to work either. I still don't understand why the 180 reports that the battery is charging when there's no battery installed. I don't understand that. I'm sure somebody else might, but I don't. What else is in here? We have marks, which I'm going to have to take off because I don't use that. I wonder if SimCity 2000 is going to work. I think this is the color version, so it might not. Unable to... Oh, it needs 256. So this monitor doesn't support that. This is, I believe, at the most 16-bit grayscale. Not 16. 8-bit. This is an 8-bit pic. This is an 8-bit, no. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. But it can display, at maximum, 16 grays, or 16 colors in grayscale. Which is what I have it set to now, because that looks the best. So there we go. That's going to do it. If you have your comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I'll see you next time. Till then. Look how fast that is.